half a tank and $20. Late October, Friday night, he climbed into the old blue Chevy. Underneath the parking light, I asked her where you wanted to go. You said anywhere but home. So we followed county roads where neither one of us had known. The map stayed folded by your knee. The road was all we had to see. Half a tank and $20, that was all we had back then. Half a tank and $20, and the whole night up ahead. Autumn fields and dashboard light, your hand resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20 made us rich for one more night. We stopped beside an empty diner near a town without a name. The coffee tasted old and bitter, but we laughed and stayed the same. You drew a heart upon the napkin, then folded it in two. I kept it in the glove box long after I lost you. The radio faded in and out. We sang the words we knew about. Half a tank and $20, that was all we had back then. Half a tank and $20, and the whole night up ahead. Autumn fields and dashboard light, your hand resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20 made us rich for one more night. The old blue Chevy disappeared before the winter came. Diner closed, the rose changed. I never learned its name, but every time the leaves blow west across a highway line, I see your hand upon the dash, still resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20, that was all we had back then. Half a tank and $20, and the whole world up ahead. Autumn fields and dashboard light, your hand resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20 made us rich for one more night. Half a tank, one autumn sky. We were rich that Friday night.
Pick the pears in late September from the tree behind the shed. You lay them gently on the table, green and gold and turning red. I brought the Sunday newspaper. You cut each page into a square. We wrapped the pears for winter evenings and placed them in the cellar there. Hands were slow and and careful, as though each one could bruise a year. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, one by one that afternoon. Headlines folded around autumn, winter coming far too soon. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, lined like lanterns in the dark. We thought that we were saving summer, but we saved a little piece of us. Some pages spoke of distant cities, some carried scores from Sunday games. You read a line and smiled beside me, then folded it around the same. By January they had softened, sweet and golden near the core. We ate the final pear together while snow lay quiet by the door. Nothing lasts the way we plan it, but some things ripen as they go. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, one by one that afternoon. Headlines folded around autumn, winter coming far too soon. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, lined like lanterns in the dark. We thought that we were saving summer, but we saved a little piece of us. Years later, clearing out the cellar, I found one yellowed scrap beneath the crate. The date was still September, though everything else had changed. I held the paper to the lamplight and almost smelled the orchard air. Some seasons leave without a warning, some remain folded somewhere. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, your careful hands, the fading sun. Every page became a shelter for the fruit we gathered one by one. The pears we wrapped in newspaper have long since disappeared, but autumn still unfolds around me whenever September draws near. One yellow page beneath my hand, one orchard breathing through the years.
Late October, Saturday, the leaves were crossing town. Your autumn coat was by the stairs, mine hanging farther down. The band was packing up their things, the chairs stood by the wall, and one slow record started playing at old Miller's Hall. Cold evening waited by the door. We asked the night for one dance more, one last dance at Miller's Hall, while autumn leaves were falling. One last dance, that was all. Still I hear that old song calling, your hand in mine, the room so small, two shadows turning on the wall. Every autumn brings me back to our last dance at Miller's Hall. Your shoes move softly on the floor. My jacket brushed your sleeve. A little wind came through the door, but neither tried to leave. Old Mr. Miller dimmed the lights and smiled as we went turning by. Outside the leaves crossed empty streets beneath an October sky. You held me closer for a while. I still remember that quiet smile. One last dance at Miller's Hall, while autumn leaves were falling. One last dance, that was all. Still I hear that old song calling. Your hand in mine, the room so small. Two shadows turning on the wall. Every autumn brings me back to our last dance at Miller's Hall. Years later, someone told me they tore that old place down. There's a grocery store and parking lot on that side of town. But when October turns the leaves and evening shadows fall, I can almost feel your hand again inside old Miller's Hall. One last dance at Miller's Hall, while autumn leaves were falling. One last dance, that was all. And still that night comes calling. Your hand in mine, the room so small. Two shadows turning on the wall. Of all the nights the years have taken, I kept that one through it all. When October leaves begin to fall, I remember Miller's Hall. Friday night in early October, rain was shining on the lane. You were laughing by the counter, trying hard to spell my name. We had rented matching shoes with faded numbers on the side. Then you took a blue ink pen and wrote your name across mine. The pins fell down, the jukebox played, but all I saw was what you wrote that day. Your name on my bowling shoes, blue ink under neon light. Your name on my bowling shoes stayed with me that autumn night. I never won, I never cared. You were laughing everywhere. Of all the things that time could lose, I kept your name on my bowling shoes. You rolled the ball into the gutter, then you bowed as if you won. I bought 2 cups of cola, and we stayed past 1:30. Outside leaves were on the pavement, and the rain had turned to mist. You said the night was nothing special, but I still remember this. The lanes went dark, the music slowed. I walked you home, beneath the yellow glow. Your name on my bowling shoes, blue ink under neon light. Your name on my bowling shoes stayed with me that autumn night. I never won, I never cared. You were laughing everywhere. Of all the things that time could lose, I kept your name on my bowling shoes. The bowling alley closed one winter. The sign came down in spring, but in a box above my closet I still keep that little thing. The leather cracked, the color faded, the laces turned to gray, but your name still leans across the side, the way you wrote that day. Your name on my bowling shoes, blue ink under neon light. Your name on my bowling shoes still brings back that autumn night. I never won, I never cared. You were laughing everywhere. Of all the things the years could lose, I kept your name on my bowling shoes. Blue ink, one October night. Your name is still there by my side.
The department store was closing when we reached the second floor. A woman at the perfume counter was putting samples in a drawer. He sprayed one on a paper strip and held it out to me. I laughed and said it smelled too grand for people such as we. He slipped the little strip inside the pocket of my bag. By morning I had quite forgotten anything we had. The paper strip from the perfume counter kept that evening all these years. A trace of something soft and warm that almost disappeared. No ribbon and no photograph, no words for me to keep. Just perfume on a paper strip and one December street. Purse I hadn't used in years. Between a comb and grocery list it suddenly appeared. The scent itself was nearly gone, the paper thin and pale. But for a moment polished floors and winter coats came back. You waited by the elevator with both hands in your sleeves. I could hear the Christmas records playing somewhere underneath the paper paper strip from the perfume counter kept that evening all these years. A trace of something soft and warm that almost disappeared. The store is gone, the name has changed, the counter's disappeared. But something in that faded scent still brings December near. Memory has its own perfume, it doesn't need a name. Sometimes almost nothing can bring a room again. The paper strip from the perfume counter's resting where it lay. I didn't try to find the fragrance or make it stay another day. Some things are better left as traces, too delicate to keep, like perfume on a paper strip and footsteps down the street.
October at the drive-in, cold stars above the screen. You wore my denim jacket over your dress of green. The speaker on the window was crackling soft and low, but neither one was watching the picture come and go. The movie played, the night stood still. Your hand was resting near the wheel. October at the drive-in, your face in silver light. October at the drive-in, I still remember that night. Leaves across the parking lines, your hand moving close to mine. Every autumn takes me back to October at the drive-in. We shared a paper carton of popcorn growing cold. You whispered that the ending was one you had been told. The cars began departing before the final scene, but we stayed beneath the moonlight where the credits crossed the screen. The heater barely warmed the air. I did not mind with you beside me there. October at the drive-in, your face in silver light. October at the drive-in, I still remember that night. Leaves across the parking lines, your hand moving close to mine. Every autumn takes me back to October at the drive-in. When October cools the night and stars begin to shine, I see your face upon that screen and feel your hand near mine. October at the drive-in, your face in silver light. October at the drive-in, the night. Leaves across the parking lines, your head moving close to mine. Every autumn takes me back to October at the drive-in. October at the drive-in. You are still there in my mind. Old Mr. Carter kept a tin beneath his cutting table, silver needles, cotton thread, and every kind of label. You brought your Sunday jacket in, the sleeve had come undone. He searched beneath the wooden spools and said, we'd only need one. Place the other two into the center of my hand. I never knew such little things could travel years this far. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, brown as autumn wood. 1 went on your Sunday coat, right where the old one stood. 2 came home inside my pocket, I don't remember why. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, and you were standing by. The scissors clicked across the cloth, the radio played low. You watched the traffic through the glass and said it looked like snow. Mr. Carter marked the sleeve, then turned the collar down. You smiled at your reflection in that quiet little town. I paid him with the coins we had. You buttoned up your coat. The bell above the doorway rang as we stepped into the cold. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, brown as autumn wood. 1 went on your Sunday coat, right where the old one stood. 2 came home inside my pocket and somehow made it through. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin still lead me back to you. We save the strangest pieces from the days we couldn't keep. Not the grand and shining moments, but the small ones buried deep. A ticket key or faded thread, a name no one recalls. 2 buttons in a wooden box can bring back everything at all. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, no bigger than a dime. 1 disappeared along with you, 2 somehow stayed with time. I placed them back inside the box and closed the lid tonight. 3 buttons from an afternoon, still holding on to light. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, brown as autumn wood. 1 went on your Sunday coat, right where the old one stood.
cold November day, I wandered through the second floor before they locked away. Inside an old blue hardcover, a card slipped to the ground, and halfway down the list of names, your handwriting was found. The date was barely readable, the year was 78. You must have held these very pages while I was learning how to wait. The library card with your handwriting brought one afternoon to life. Your careful name in faded blue, still leaning to the right. I turned the page but couldn't read the story waiting there. The library card with your handwriting had taken me somewhere. Beside the shelves where history books were kept, you always chose the longest ones and read while others left. I carried novels home for you, you carried mine for me. We never thought those borrowed books would outlive you and me. The closing bell rang down the hall just like it did back then. I touched your name once with my thumb and closed the book again. The library card with your handwriting brought one afternoon to life. Your careful name in faded blue, still leaning to the right. No photograph was hidden there, no message meant for me. Just 7 letters written down for anyone to see. Some things survive by accident between forgotten pages, waiting without knowing why through all the passing ages. The library card with your handwriting went quietly back inside. I left the book upon the shelf and let the moment hide. But walking down those marble stairs, one thought came back to me. Once your hand had touched a page that waited there for me.
Late September after school, the sidewalk smelled of rain. I had 1 nickel in my pocket for the evening bus or train. You waited by the drugstore window with autumn in your hair. I said I had enough for both of us, though nothing took us there. We walked until the streetlights shone, and somehow that was more than home. The nickel I never spent stayed inside my pocket. The nickel I never spent still carries that September. We had no money, we had no plan, just falling leaves in your warm hand. Of everything the years have kept, I still have the nickel I never spent. We passed the old department store and watched the buses leave. You tucked your fingers in my sleeve. Against the evening breeze, we shared a paper bag of fries. Beside the courthouse steps, you laughed and said a night like this was worth more than the rest. The town grew quiet after 10. I wish that road would never end. The nickel I never spent stayed inside my pocket. The nickel I never spent still carries that September. We had no money, we had no plan, just falling leaves in your warm hand. Of everything the years have kept, I still have the nickel I never spent. Drugstore closed, the buses changed, the courthouse clock came down. But in an old tobacco tin, that nickel still is found. And every time September turns the maple leaves to red, I hold that little coin again and hear the words you said. The nickel I never spent stayed inside my pocket. The nickel I never spent still carries that September. We had no money, we had no plan, just falling leaves in your warm hand. Of everything the years have kept, I still have the nickel I never spent. One small coin, one autumn night, I never spent. I held it tight.
There was a cinnamon tin above the stove, beside the sugar and the tea. You reached for it on Sunday mornings, standing barefoot next to me. The windows fogged above the sink, the radio was playing low. Outside the maple leaves were falling, inside we had nowhere to go. Funny what the heart remembers, not the years but little things. The cinnamon tin above the stove, your fingers turning back the lid. Autumn sunlight on the table, all the ordinary things we did. The cinnamon tin above the stove still carries mornings warm and slow. I forgot 100 words you told me, but I remember that cinnamon glow. You'd sprinkle some me. I always said you used too much. You'd laugh and leave the spoon beside me, then straighten up the tablecloth. We never thought those quiet Sundays would become the days I'd miss. No photograph could ever capture something simple quite like this. Time remembers in its own way, through a scent, a room, a sound. The cinnamon tin above the stove, your fingers turning back the lid. Autumn sunlight on the table, all the ordinary things we did. The cinnamon tin above the stove still carries mornings warm and slow. I forgot 100 words you told me, but I remember that cinnamon glow. Years later in a little market, I saw that same old painted tin. I didn't buy it, only held it, and Sunday morning walked back in. For half a breath the room was ours, the kettle singing by the wall. The cinnamon tin above the stove, a little rust around the side. Nothing grand and nothing precious, just a place where years could hide. The cinnamon tin above the stove still brings that autumn kitchen home. Some memories live inside a picture, some wait quietly in cinnamon. The radio plays somewhere far away, and leaves fall softly past the glass.
"26 was painted crooked on your father's garage door, white against the faded green I'd seen 1,000 times before. Your bicycle leaned beside it, my old Ford was down the drive. Saturday was getting colder, we were 25. You stood there with your hands inside the pockets of your coat. I had something I should tell you, but the words stayed in my throat. The number painted on the garage door stayed with me somehow. 26 in crooked white, I can almost see it now. Not the house and not the street, not the words we couldn't say, just that number on the garage door as I slowly drove away. I passed that neighborhood last Sunday for the first time in some years. The maple trees were taller and the corner disappeared. A different family lives there, they painted everything in blue. But underneath the newer numbers, I imagined 22. No 26 beneath the paint, the way I always knew. I didn't stop the car that day, there was nothing left to find. Some addresses leave the city, but never leave the mind. The number painted on the garage door stayed with me somehow. 26 in crooked white, I can almost see it now. Not the house and not the street, not the words we couldn't say, just that number on the garage door as I slowly drove away. Maybe memory chooses strangely what it carries through the years. Not the promises we whispered, not the reasons, not the tears. Just a brushstroke on old timber and an evening turning gray. 26 above your driveway on the night I went away. The number painted on the garage door doesn't live there anymore. Someone covered it with another coat in 1984. But when November turns the daylight into silver at the end, 26 comes through the paint, and I see that door again.
Above my head, beside the hallway door, then laughed and said I'd somehow grown an inch since spring before. I took the pencil from your hand and drew a line for you. You stood up straight against the wall, the way you always knew. Two little marks upon the paint, a date beneath each line. Nothing worth remembering then, but somehow worth it now. Pencil marks beside the hallway door, one for you and one for me. Two crooked lines from long ago where no one else could see. The house has changed 100 ways since we were living there, but pencil marks beside the hallway door still keep us standing there. Painted every other room one summer after June. Moved the table, changed the curtains, worked until the afternoon. But when we reached that narrow hall, you wouldn't paint that wall. You said those lines were part of us and shouldn't fade at all. Thought that you were joking then and handed back the brush. Now I understand the things we almost covered up. Pencil marks beside the hallway door, one for you and one for me. Two crooked lines from long ago where no one else could see. No frame around them, no design, no reason they should stay. Just pencil marks beside the door from one ordinary day. smallest things don't ask permission before they learn to last. They wait inside familiar places and quietly hold the past. Pencil marks beside the hallway door may not be there today. Someone may have painted over everything we made, but sometimes when I close my eyes, that hallway comes in view. One little line belongs to me, the other one to you.
A smell in the air of damp cedar and wood, where she used to sit just the way that she could. The autumn wind rattles the dry heavy leaves and carries away what the neighborhood believes. She watches a stray cat step over the stone, too quiet to notice she stands there alone. Her fingers are tucked in the folds of her coat, while unspoken feelings catch fast in her throat. The sidewalk is painted with amber and rust. Her footprints grow heavy in gray morning dust. She looks at the window where frost starts to clear and counts every season that drifted too near. Stay just a moment beside the cold glass. Watch how the shadows of October pass. Even if time takes the color away, her quiet reflection refuses to stray. Stay just a moment while day turns to blue, like an old faded photograph waiting for view. She makes not a motion, she makes not a sound, while pieces of yesterday fall to the ground. The chill on the iron of the park's empty gate, where someone always arrives far too late. She traces the rust with the tip of a glove and remembers the shape of a sorrowful love. The street lamp above her is flickering low against the gray tide of a cold river flow, and every dried petal that dances below still pulls at the places she used to know. The sidewalk is painted with amber and rust. Her footprints grow heavy in gray morning dust. She looks at the window where frost starts to clear and counts every season that drifted too near. Stay just a moment beside the cold glass. Watch how the shadows of October pass. Even if time takes the color away, her quiet reflection refuses to stray. Stay just a moment while day turns to blue, like an old faded photograph waiting for view. She makes not a motion, she makes not a sound, while pieces of yesterday fall to the ground. If she could reach back through the chill in the breeze and gather the quiet of fallen old trees, she would hold on to the ghost of the street where time and December so silently meet. Maybe the weather was never her own, maybe the road was designed to be stone. Still every morning that opens its gray keeps pulling her back to the start of the day. Stay just a moment beside the cold glass. Watch how the shadows of October pass. Even if time takes the color away, her quiet reflection refuses to stray. Stay just a moment while day turns to blue, like an old faded photograph She makes not a motion, she makes not a sound, while pieces of yesterday fall to the ground. Frost on the iron, leaves on the street. She turns away with slow, weary feet. Half a tank and $20. Late October, Friday night. He climbed into the old blue Chevy underneath the parking light. I asked her where you wanted to go. You said anywhere but home. So we followed county roads where neither one of us had known. The map stayed folded by your knee. The road was all we had to see. Half a tank and $20, that was all we had back then. Half a tank and $20, and the whole night up ahead. Autumn fields and dashboard light, your hand resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20 made us rich for one more night. We stopped beside an empty diner near a town without a name. Coffee tasted old and bitter, but we laughed and stayed the same. You drew a heart upon the napkin, then folded it in two. I kept it in the glove box long after I lost you. The radio faded in and out. We sang the words we knew about. Half a tank and $20, that was all we had back then. Half a tank and $20, and the whole night up ahead. Autumn fields and dashboard light, your hand resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20 made us rich for one more night. The old blue Chevy disappeared before the winter came. Diner closed, the rose changed. I never learned its name, but every time the leaves blow west across a highway line, I see your hand upon the dash, still resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20, that was all we had back then. Half a tank and $20, and the whole world up ahead. Autumn fields and dashboard light, your hand resting close to mine. Half a tank and $20 made us rich for one more night. Half a tank, one autumn sky. We were rich that Friday night.
pick the pears in late September from the tree behind the shed. You lay them gently on the table, green and gold and turning red. I brought the Sunday newspaper. You cut each page into a square. We wrapped the pears for winter evenings and placed them in the cellar there. Your hands were slow and careful, as though each one could bruise a year. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, one by one that afternoon. Headlines folded around autumn, winter coming far too soon. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, lined like lanterns in the dark. We thought that we were saving summer, but we saved a little piece of us. Some pages spoke of distant cities, some carried scores from Sunday games. You read a line and smiled beside me, then folded it around the same. By January they had softened, sweet and golden near the core. We ate the final pear together while snow lay quiet by the door. Nothing lasts the way we plan it, but some things ripen as they go. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, one by one that afternoon. Headlines folded around autumn, winter coming far too soon. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, lined like lanterns in the dark. We thought that we were saving summer, but we saved a little piece of us. Years later, clearing out the cellar, I found one yellowed scrap beneath the crate. The date was still September, though everything else had changed. I held the paper to the lamplight and almost smelled the orchard air. Some seasons leave without a warning, some remain folded somewhere. The pears we wrapped in newspaper, your careful hands, the fading sun. Every page became a shelter for the fruit we gathered one by one. The pears we wrapped in newspaper have long since disappeared, but autumn still unfolds around me whenever September draws near. One yellow page beneath my hand, one orchard breathing through the years.
Late October, Saturday, the leaves were crossing town. Your autumn coat was by the stairs, mine hanging farther down. The band was packing up their things, the chairs stood by the wall, and one slow record started playing at old Miller's Hall. Cold evening waited by the door. We asked the night for one dance more. last dance at Miller's Hall, while autumn leaves were falling. One last dance, that was all. Still I hear that old song calling, your hand in mine, the room so small, two shadows turning on the wall. Every autumn brings me back to our last dance at Miller's Hall. Your shoes move softly on the floor, my jacket brushed your sleeve. A little wind came through the door, but neither tried to leave. Old Mr. Miller dimmed the lights and smiled as we went turning by. Outside the leaves crossed empty streets beneath an October sky. You held me closer for a while. I still remember that quiet smile. One last dance at Miller's Hall, while autumn leaves were falling. One last dance, that was all. Still I hear that old song calling, your hand in mine, the room so small, two shadows turning on the wall. Every autumn brings me back to our last dance at Miller's Hall. Years later someone told me they tore that old place down. There's a grocery store and parking lot on that side of town. But when October turns the leaves and evening shadows fall, I can almost feel your hand again inside old Miller's Hall. One last dance at Miller's Hall, while autumn leaves were falling. One last dance, that was all. And still that night comes calling, your hand in mine, the room so small, two shadows turning on the wall. Of all the nights the years have taken, I kept that one through it all. When October leaves begin to fall, I remember Miller's Hall. Friday night in early October, rain was shining on the lane. You were laughing by the counter, trying hard to spell my name. We had rented matching shoes with faded numbers on the side. Then you took a blue ink pen and wrote your name across mine. The pins fell down, the jukebox played, but all I saw was what you wrote that day. Your name on my bowling shoes, blue ink under neon light. Your name on my bowling shoes stayed with me that autumn night. I never won, I never cared. You were laughing everywhere. Of all the things that time could lose, I kept your name on my bowling shoes. You rolled the ball into the gutter, then you bowed as if you won. I bought 2 cups of cola, and we stayed past 1:30. Outside leaves were on the pavement, and the rain had turned to mist. You said the night was nothing special, but I still remember this. The lanes went dark, the music slowed. I walked you home beneath the yellow glow. Your name on my bowling shoes, blue ink under neon light. Your name on my bowling shoes stayed with me that autumn night. I never won, I never cared. You were laughing everywhere. Of all the things that time could lose, I kept your name on my bowling shoes. The bowling alley closed one winter. The sign came down in spring, but in a box above my closet, I still keep that little thing. The leather cracked, the color faded, the laces turned to gray, but your name still leans across the side, the way you wrote that day. Your name on my bowling shoes, blue ink under neon light. Your name on my bowling shoes still brings back that autumn night. I never won, I never cared. You were laughing everywhere. Of all the things the years could lose, I kept your name on my bowling shoes. Blue ink, one October night. Your name is still there by my side.
The department store was closing when we reached the 2nd floor. A woman at the perfume counter was putting samples in a drawer. You sprayed one on a paper strip and held it out to me. I laughed and said it smelled too grand for people such as we. You slipped the little strip inside the pocket of my bag. By morning I had quite forgotten anything we had. The paper strip from the perfume counter kept that evening all these years. A trace of something soft and warm that almost disappeared. No ribbon and no photograph, no words for me to keep. Just perfume on a paper strip and one December street. The scent itself was nearly gone, the paper thin and pale. But for a moment polished floors and winter coats came back. You waited by the elevator with both hands in your sleeves. I could hear the Christmas records playing somewhere underneath. The paper strip from the perfume counter kept that evening all these years. A trace of something soft and warm that almost disappeared. The store is gone, the name has changed, the counters disappeared. But something in that faded scent still brings December near. Memory has its own perfume, it doesn't need a name. Sometimes almost nothing can bring a room again. The paper strip from the perfume counters resting where it lay. I didn't try to find the fragrance or make it stay another day. Some things are better left as traces, too delicate to keep. Like perfume on a paper strip and footsteps down the street.
October at the drive-in, cold stars above the screen. You wore my denim jacket over your dress of green. The speaker on the window was crackling soft and low, but neither one was watching the picture come and go. The movie played, the night stood still. Your hand was resting near the wheel. October at the drive-in, your face in silver light. October at the drive-in, I still remember that night. Leaves across the parking lines, your hand moving close to mine. Every autumn takes me back to October at the drive-in. We shared a paper carton of popcorn growing cold. You whispered that the ending was one you had been told. The cars began departing before the final scene, but we stayed beneath the moonlight where the credits crossed the screen. The heater barely warmed the air. I did not mind with you beside me there. October at the drive-in, your face in silver light. October at the drive-in, I still remember that night. Leaves across the parking lines, your hand moving close to mine. Every autumn takes me back to October at the drive-in. October cools the night and stars begin to shine, I see your face upon that screen and feel your hand near mine. October at the drive-in, your face in silver light. October at the drive-in, still shining through the night. Leaves across the parking lines, your head moving close to mine. Every autumn takes me back to October at the drive-in. October at the drive-in, you are still there in my mind. Old Mr. Carter kept a tin beneath his cutting table, silver needles, cotton thread, and every kind of label. You brought your Sunday jacket in, the sleeve had come undone. He searched beneath the wooden spools and said, we'd only need one. He placed the other two into the center of my hand. I never knew such little things could travel years this far. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, brown as autumn wood. One went on your Sunday coat, right where the old one stood. 2 came home inside my pocket, I don't remember why. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, and you were standing by. The scissors clicked across the cloth, the radio played low. You watched the traffic through the glass and said it looked like snow. Mr. Carter marked the sleeve, then turned the collar down. You smiled at your reflection in that quiet little town. I paid him with the coins we had. You buttoned up your coat. The bell above the doorway rang as we stepped into the cold. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, brown as autumn wood. One went on your Sunday coat, right where the old one stood. 2 came home inside my pocket and somehow made it through. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin still lead me back to you. We saved the strangest pieces from the days we couldn't keep. Not the grand and shining moments, but the small ones buried deep. A ticket key or faded thread, a name no one recalls. 2 buttons in a wooden box can bring back everything at all. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, no bigger than a dime. One disappeared along with you, 2 somehow stayed with time. I placed them back inside the box and closed the lid tonight. 3 buttons from an afternoon, still holding on to light. 3 buttons in the tailor's tin, brown as autumn wood. One
Library closed early on a cold November day. I wandered through the second floor before they locked away. Inside an old blue hardcover, a card slipped to the ground, and halfway down the list of names, your handwriting was found. The date was barely readable, the year was 78. You must have held these very pages while I was learning how to wait. The library card with your handwriting brought one afternoon to life. Your careful name in faded blue, still leaning to the right. I turned the page but couldn't read the story waiting there. The library card with your handwriting had taken me somewhere. Beside the shelves where history books were kept, you always chose the longest ones and read while others left. I carried novels home for you, you carried mine for me. We never thought those borrowed books would outlive you and me. The closing bell rang down the hall just like it did back then. I touched your name once with my thumb and closed the book again. The library card with your handwriting brought one afternoon to life. Your careful name in faded blue, still leaning to the right. No photograph was hidden there, no message meant for me. Just 7 letters written down for anyone to see. Some things survive by accident between forgotten pages, waiting without knowing why through all the passing ages. The library card with your handwriting went quietly back inside. I left the book upon the shelf and let the moment hide. But walking down those marble stairs, one thought came back to me. Once your hand had touched a page that waited there for me.
Late September after school, the sidewalk smelled of rain. I had 1 nickel in my pocket for the evening bus or train. You waited by the drugstore window with autumn in your hair. I said I had enough for both of us, though nothing took us there. We walked until the streetlights shone, and somehow that was more than home. The nickel I never spent stayed inside my pocket. The nickel I never spent still carries that September. We had no money, we had no plan, just falling leaves in your warm hand. Of everything the years have kept, I still have the nickel I never spent. We passed the old department store and watched the buses leave. You tucked your fingers in my sleeve. Against the evening breeze, we shared a paper bag of fries. Beside the courthouse steps, you laughed and said a night like this was worth more than the rest. The town grew quiet after 10. I wish that road would never end. The nickel I never spent stayed inside my pocket. The nickel I never spent still carries that September. We had no money, we had no plan, just falling leaves in your warm hand. Of everything the years have kept, I still have the nickel I never spent. Drugstore closed, the buses changed, the courthouse clock came down. But in an old tobacco tin, that nickel still is found. And every time September turns the maple leaves to red, I hold that little coin again and hear the words you said. The nickel I never spent stayed inside my pocket. The nickel I never spent still carries that September. We had no money, we had no plan, just falling leaves in your warm hand. Of everything the years have kept, I still have the nickel I never spent. One small coin, one autumn night, I never spent. I held it tight.
There's a cinnamon tin above the stove, beside the sugar and the tea. You reached for it on Sunday mornings, standing barefoot next to me. The windows fogged above the sink, the radio was playing low. Outside the maple leaves were falling, inside we had nowhere to go. Funny what the heart remembers, not the years but little things. The cinnamon tin above the stove, your fingers turning back the lid. Autumn sunlight on the table, all the ordinary things we did. The cinnamon tin above the stove still carries mornings warm and slow. I forgot 100 words you told me, but I remember that cinnamon glow. You'd sprinkle some across the coffee. I always said you used too much. You'd laugh and leave the spoon beside me, then straighten up the tablecloth. We never thought those quiet Sundays would become the days I'd miss. No photograph could ever capture something simple quite like this. Time remembers in its own way, through a scent, a room, a sound. The cinnamon tin above the stove, your fingers turning back the lid. Autumn sunlight on the table, all the ordinary things we did. The cinnamon tin above the stove still carries mornings warm and slow. I forgot 100 words you told me, but I remember that cinnamon glow. Years later in a little market, I saw that same old painted tin. I didn't buy it, only held it, and Sunday morning walked back in. For half a breath the room was ours, the kettle singing by the wall. The cinnamon tin above the stove, a little rust around the side. Nothing grand and nothing precious, just a place where years could hide. The cinnamon tin above the stove still brings that autumn kitchen home. Some memories live inside a picture, some wait quietly in cinnamon. The radio plays somewhere far away, and leaves fall softly past the glass.
"26 was painted crooked on your father's garage door, white against the faded green I'd seen 1,000 times before. Your bicycle leaned beside it, my old Ford was down the drive. Saturday was getting colder, we were 25. You stood there with your hands inside the pockets of your coat. I had something I should tell you, but the words stayed in my throat. The number painted on the garage door stayed with me somehow. 26 in crooked white, I can almost see it now. Not the house and not the street, not the words we couldn't say, just that number on the garage door as I slowly drove away. I passed that neighborhood last Sunday for the first time in some years. The maple trees were taller and the corner disappeared. different family lives there. They painted everything in blue, but underneath the newer numbers I imagine 22. No 26 beneath the paint, the way I always knew. I didn't stop the car that day. There was nothing left to find. Some addresses leave the city, but never leave the mind. The number painted on the garage door stayed with me somehow. 26 in crooked white, I can almost see it now. Not the house and not the street, not the words we couldn't say, just that number on the garage door as I slowly drove away. Maybe memory chooses strangely what it carries through the years. Not the promises we whispered, not the reasons, not the tears. Just a brushstroke on old timber and an evening turning gray. 26 above your driveway on the night I went away. The number painted on the garage door doesn't live there anymore. Someone covered it with another coat in 1984. But when November turns the daylight into silver at the end, 26 comes through the paint, and I see that door again.
Above my head, beside the hallway door, then laughed and said I'd somehow grown an inch since spring before. I took the pencil from your hand and drew a line for you. You stood up straight against the wall, the way you always knew. Two little marks upon the paint, a date beneath each line. Nothing worth remembering then, but somehow worth it now. Pencil marks beside the hallway door, one for you and one for me. Two crooked lines from long ago where no one else could see. The house has changed 100 ways since we were living there, but pencil marks beside the hallway door still keep us standing there. Painted every other room one summer after June. Moved the table, changed the curtains, worked until the afternoon. But when we reached that narrow hall, you wouldn't paint that wall. You said those lines were part of us and shouldn't fade at all. Thought that you were joking then and handed back the brush. Now I understand the things we almost covered up. pencil marks beside the hallway door, one for you and one for me. Two crooked lines from long ago where no one else could see. No frame around them, no design, no reason they should stay. Just pencil marks beside the door from one ordinary day. The smallest things don't ask permission before they learn to last. They wait inside familiar places and quietly hold the past. Pencil marks beside the hallway door may not be there today. Someone may have painted over everything we made, but sometimes when I close my eyes, that hallway comes in view. One little line belongs to me, the other one to you.
A smell in the air of damp cedar and wood, where she used to sit just the way that she could. The autumn wind rattles the dry heavy leaves and carries away what the neighborhood believes. She watches a stray cat step over the stone, too quiet to notice. She stands there alone. Her fingers are tucked in the folds of her coat, while unspoken feelings catch fast in her throat. The sidewalk is painted with amber and rust. Her footprints grow heavy in gray morning dust. She looks at the window where frost starts to clear and counts every season that drifted too near. Stay just a moment beside the cold glass. Watch how the shadows of October pass. Even if time takes the color away, her quiet reflection refuses to stray. Stay just a moment while day turns to blue, like an old faded photograph waiting for view. She makes not a motion, she makes not a sound, while pieces of yesterday fall to the ground. The chill on the iron of the park's empty gate, where someone always arrives far too late. She traces the rust with the tip of her glove and remembers the shape of a sorrowful love. The street lamp above her is flickering low against the gray tide of a cold river flow, and every dried petal that dances below still pulls at the places she used to know. The sidewalk is painted with amber and rust. Her footprints grow heavy in gray morning dust. She looks at the window where frost starts to clear and counts every season that drifted too near. Stay just a moment beside the cold glass. Watch how the shadows of October pass. Even if time takes the color away, her quiet reflection refuses to stray. Stay just a moment while day turns to blue, like an old faded photograph waiting for view. She makes not a motion, she makes not a sound, while pieces of yesterday fall to the ground. If she could reach back through the chill in the breeze and gather the quiet of fallen old trees, she would hold on to the ghost of the street where time and December so silently meet. Maybe the weather was never her own. Maybe was designed to be stone. Still every morning that opens its gray keeps pulling her back to the start of the day. Stay just a moment beside the cold glass. Watch how the shadows of October pass. Even if time takes the color away, her quiet reflection refuses to stray. Stay just a moment while day turns to blue, like an old faded photograph waiting for view. She makes not a motion, she makes not a sound, while pieces of yesterday fall to the ground. Frost on the iron, leaves on the street. She turns away with slow, weary feet.